one by one. And I'd ask you to hold your applause until I'm finished introducing them. And I'll do so in alphabetical order. The first one is Robert Hilliard, sitting right here. Giorgio Magaliki. Okay. Joe Pantalone. Rocco Rossi. George Smitherman. Sarah Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I really appreciate the chance to be here tonight and to see such a robust crowd of Torontonians. And I just want to say I regret that I'm going to leave a few minutes early to go to another event as well. I think at the heart of this, several people have used the word elevate, and I really think that describes well what we need to do with planning overall. You're not going to get success at bringing a new great chief planner or planning commissioner until such time that the city puts its foot forward and says that we see this as a greater priority, as a core responsibility, and that's what I would do. I think planning and economic development need to be linked in a much more substantial way, and I feel so strenuously that it's necessary that neighborhoods be given the opportunity for engagement much earlier on in the process. I see the work that Councillor Vaughan has done. I see the work that People Plan Toronto is focused on. And I bring the experiences of someone who worked alongside Barbara Hall and the King Parliament and King's Spadine initiatives. The work that I had a chance to do on her behalf of the rezoning of the railway lands from the Air Canada Centre, the neighbourhoods that have emerged to the west. The hands-on work that I did in the Regent Park community associated with that very successful redevelopment. But the necessity of community engagement beforehand and preventing the circumstances where communities are often surprised about the plans for their very neighborhood is something that we have to reverse. Elevate planning and transition from a reactive to a proactive model is what I think is so important. And we cannot pretend that it's going to be possible to just say no, as at least one of the candidates on this dais is inclined towards as a strategy. The obvious is that Toronto is growing, and this is the opportunity to seize them, to find that growth in a way that makes our city even more beautiful. I think a core responsibility of government is the quality of the public realm. And I think that that extends from the buildings to the streets and indeed to the parks and public spaces of our city. And as much as we can see beautiful buildings and we know that progress has occurred, we can each point to places where we feel let down. At the moment, the city is acting with undue haste to the development of a new hockey arena in the Portlands that has the effect of saying to the Portlands, no, we will not allow you to emerge from the shadows of post-industrial use, but instead that we will say and put a stamp on it through city money that says that the Portlands of tomorrow is going to be as bleak and desolate as the Portlands of today. I think this is an example where people in Toronto need to rally around and convince the councillors on this stage and others who provide leadership at the city this summer not to make the decision to define this important piece of land, to not to create a mistake by the lake, but instead to say that in areas, especially that are adjacent to the water, we have an obligation to elevate our planning and the appeal that we can bring through initiatives like that. Thank you very much.